All right, Math 2. Hey guys, we're going to start Chapter 7 now. Chapter 7 deals solely with the centers of a triangle. So each day I'm going to talk to you about a different center of a triangle. I know this first one has a weird name, but the first one, which we're going to start off with today, is titled Circumcenter. So it's written Circumcenter. Okay? And so what I want to do is I'm going to show you some stuff inside of the book I want you to copy down, and then I'm going to pull up a picture inside it. I'll talk about them, and then I'm going to pull up a picture inside of your Alex homework and do one for you. So the first thing, when I show you these, pause the video, write them down. So here's the first I want you to copy down. This is what a perpendicular bisector is. So pause it. Write it down. Okay, next one. So after talking about you guys notice about a perpendicular bisector, the things you have to know is a perpendicular bisector is a point that bisects the opposite side. It's a line that bisects the opposite side of a triangle perpendicularly. So it's a line that bisects the side of a triangle perpendicularly. Now bisect, as most of you guys know, cuts something directly in half. So a bisector cuts something directly in half. A perpendicular bisector cuts something in half with a 90-degree angle. So that's a perpendicular bisector. The next thing, here's the first center of the chapter 7. So pause it, copy it. I'm going to keep talking. So, now like I said, there's 4 different centers of a triangle we're going to talk about: circumcenter, incenter, orthocenter, and centroid. Each one of the centers takes place with a triangle. The first one we're going to talk about is circumcenter. Circumcenter is where the 3 perpendicular bisectors intersect. So once again, it's where the 3 perpendicular bisectors intersect, or DP, FP, and EP. All 3 of those are perpendicular bisectors, so where they intersect is called the circumcenter. Now, one of the most important things is this right here about circumcenter. This, PB equals PA equals PC, inside of a triangle from the circumcenter to the vertex are all the same. So PA, PC, and PB are all the same. So in circumcenter, from the circumcenter to each vertex are all the exact same. Alright, and as you guys can see here, each one of these things bisects each one of these sides perpendicularly. Now pay attention closely. Most of you may already notice that these things make right triangles. Anytime you see a right triangle, you need to be thinking a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You need to be thinking Pythagorean Theorem. And you're going to see today on your homework why I tell you that you're going to need to know Pythagorean Theorem. So, here we go. I'm going to draw you a picture like today on your homework, and then we may send you off. I may only do one, but we'll see what we get to. So, give me just a second here while I get this thing up. Okay. Okay, it's not going to work. What happened to it? There you are. No, that's not it. There it is. Nope, not going to do it. Give me just a second here. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Okay, something's definitely going on here. There it is. Okay. So if I have a triangle like this, this is P, and anything I write down gets written down inside your journal, right? Good. So there's a perpendicular bisector, there's a perpendicular bisector, and there's a perpendicular bisector. From each one of these is another line, and this is V. Okay, it says there, consider the triangle PQR in the figure below. All three of these are perpendicular bisectors. This is U and T, TV, SV, and UV are all perpendicular bisectors. And then it goes ahead and starts to give us some information. UV is 54. PR, so from here to here is 142. And RV, which is right here, is 90. Okay, so let's talk about a few of the things we know about Circumcenter. The first, each one of these lines right here bisects its sides. So we know that is congruent to that. That is the same as that, and that is the same as that. We also know from the vertex to the circumcenter, all of these are the same. So if RV is 90, QV is 90, and PV is 90. Alright, so we know that. And the things they want us to find are PU, SR, and QV. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to find these. Now let me get it in a position where you guys can actually see this thing here. Let's get it up here so you guys can see it better. Okay. So they want us to find PU, SR, and QV. Well, we already know what QV is because they gave us RV was 90. QV would also be 90 because vertex to circumcenter are all the exact same. So we know QV is going to be 90. SR, we can get SR. Look, it tells us PR is 142. Well, the theorem inside of this says these things are bisected, right? So if this whole line is bisected here, then this has to be 71, and that has to be 71. Because it's bisected, so it has to be the same. So SR is 71. UP is the hard one. UP is right there. We're going to call it X. Right out here, we're going to call it X. Now, this right here, we're going to look at this triangle right there. Most of you know that this triangle is in fact a right triangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that triangle and I'm going to put it right here so you guys can kind of see it separate. So there's that triangle. This is X, that's 54, this is 90. So what you're going to do is you're going to use your Pythagorean Theorem by going X squared plus 54 squared equals 90 squared. Remember, the hypotenuse is always opposite the right angle. So then you would go through, you're going to solve it the best of your ability, and you're going to get your answer, which is, I'm using my calculator right now, give me a second, is 72. So you would square both of these, subtract it, and square root both sides, and you get 72 as your solution. And that is circumcenter. Okay? So, that's what you're going to do. We're going to do one more of these. Just give me a sec. Let me get up here to a part of the page where we can actually get it. And let's do one more. Okay, this one says, here's our triangle. And our perpendicular bisectors are right here. This is H, L, J, K, G, and M. And the middle is going to be N. Alright, so what else do we need? We need lines drawn from here to here and from here to here. Okay. The information that they tell us that Ln is 78, GJ is 94, and GN equals 130. Remember, this is circumcenter. They want us to find HN, LJ, and GK. Alright, so let's go through this thing. They tell us Ln is 78, so that line right there is 78. That doesn't really help us out right now with anything else. GJ, which is from here, that entire line, is 94. Well, once again, this is bisected. This whole line is bisected right here. So if this is 94, that's 47, and that's 47. I bet that's one of our answers. LJ, no. HN, no. GK, yep. So there's one of our answers right there. The last thing they tell us is that GN is 130. Well, once again, from the vertex of the triangle to the circumcenter are all the same. So they're all 130, which means that HN is also 130. Once again, it's asking for LJ. We're going to have to use the Pythagorean Theorem. Here's our triangle. So x squared plus 78 squared equals 130 squared. You go through, you start to solve it, and you get x equals, or LJ equals 104. Okay, so that is Circumcenter. If you have any questions, shoot me a screenshot or something and we can work on it. But remember to pause the video and get those things jotted down, especially the pictures. Thank you.